Okay, so you're ready to start making some composite images. We're going to do that using Adobe Creative Suite's Photoshop. Composite images meaning bringing several different images together into one graphic. We're going to use that making something of a poster slash header image based on elements from the Avengers Endgame. To do that, we first want to begin by establishing a canvas to work on. So you're going to launch Photoshop, log in, and then hit Create New. You can choose default presets up here. For this one though, I'm just going to type in from scratch. I'm going to put 12, you know what, let's go with the web most common. If you're going with print, your resolution would be 300, but we're going to go with 72 for screen because this is just an intro. One, for web, you'd want it at 72 for the resolution. Uh, but even if we're just beginning, we're not too concerned about the quality of the graphics so much as getting familiar with the tools. So I just want to work light and fast. So we're going to work with 72. And let's just call this Comp 1 and create. All right, so here we have our artboard. It has a white background. We can go to the top and see image size, just to confirm for you where we're at. If you pull this down to pixels, see that was the preset we had selected before, and the resolution is 72. Say OK. And then we want to get our background. Our background is going to be an image of space. So for this first step, I'm going to scroll up to the top, go File, Open, and I'm going to choose, it's titled Image for Article 4983, parentheses 1, this image of space. All right. Now the first thing we want to do is get this to a layer that we can drag into our other file. So we're going to bring up our layers palette. If you don't see your layers palette at the top, you can choose Window, Layers. For the most part, these options are in alphabetical order. So we're going Window, Layers, and you should see this palette pop up. I'm going to double click on the word background, and I'm going to name this space. Once I have that set up, we want to look at both of our canvases, right? So the space and the white comp that we had. So I'm going to choose Window, Arrange, Float All in Windows. That's Window, Arrange, Float All in Windows. And now I can see both of my canvases. The first tool we have in the upper left hand corner is the Move tool. If you hit this double little arrow in the upper left hand corner, you can get one column. Hit it again, you get two columns. We're going to take space from the layer palette using the Move tool and just drag it into our canvas, our Comp 1 canvas. You can click on the space canvas, and in the upper left hand corner just close that out. We're not going to need that anymore. I'm going to drag from the lower right corner this to fill up the screen. Likewise, you can also hit Command 0 and that'll fill up your screen. And now I want to transform my space, okay, my space image. I want it to fill this canvas. So what you can do using the options from the top menu here are Edit, Transform, and Scale. Now here's the thing, Photoshop has a lot of options, right? However, there's a few that you'll use over and over, so don't be intimidated by trying to remember all of these options here. There are ones we want to go to immediately, and then there's others you can unpack later. So again, that was from the top menu, Edit, transform, and we're going to choose scale. I'll show you the hotkeys for this later. All right, now what you're going to see here are these little handles at the corner of the image. If you were to hold the Option key and click and drag from one of the corners, you'll see you can drag this image out and it scales proportionately. You'll notice at the top there's a little chain here which shows us that both the height and the width are scaling proportionately. If you don't use the Option key, you can kind of warp this image around. If I unlock that chain, watch what happens. Oh, it's still staying scaled. Usually this guy warps out. Okay. All right, and then I hit return, and my image fills the screen. Okay. Next up, we are going to move on to the selection tools. But this has established our background.